Olivia Rodrigo effed around and found out. She was served some humble pie because now she is no longer allowed to distribute free Plan B pills to her fans at her concerts on the Guts tour. And this was great news. It's just total merry victory from here on out. It looks like abortion organizations from the National Abortion Fund at the Guts tour are no longer allowed to distribute emergency contraceptives at Olivia's concerts. The organizers tell Variety that after a widespread media attention, local abortion funds were told on Thursday afternoon they're no longer allowed to hand out free emergency birth control pills and other reproductive health resources at the concerts. What's most insane here, and I didn't know this when we initially covered it, not only were they handing out Plan B pills and condoms at these concerts, they were also handing out lube to children. They were handing out, I mean, that is the least justifiable one on the list because it has nothing to do with unplanned pregnancy. It has nothing to do with Roe v. Wade or any of the sexual politics or anything like that. Sexual health, reproductive rights. It has nothing to do with any of that.
Sexual health, but not reproductive health.
It's all very predatory, and it's about making promiscuity more suggestible and favorable to literal children. And it's well known that children are the ones attending Olivia Rodrigo's tour, because I've even seen memes and TikToks that are like, it's so uncomfortable to attend the Guts tour as someone who's over 18. You feel like you stick out like a sore thumb if you're an adult at one of these concerts. It's the kids and it's their parents, and otherwise those are all the people there. And shame on the parents who, after realizing this is happening, are still taking them to this tour. It's an incredibly dark sign.
Imagine like you're at the tour, like you're like you go to the tour, your daughter's like over at a merch table, and like somebody just walks up to you, the mom, and just hands you a bunch of Plan B and lube, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put this in my plastic clear bag that I had to bring here because of the rules at these arenas. Show everyone walking past me that I have Plan B and condoms in my bag. Okay, it says this decision came from Olivia Rodrigo's team. That's the interesting part. It wasn't the abortion funds that backed down. It was Olivia Rodrigo's team that saw all of the negative press and they backed off.
Shouldn't they love it? Doesn't this lean into her reputation?
I mean, I think that she was trying to be edgy and make abortion part of her brand.
Or some parents who were taking their kids to see these shows saying, we're not going to come and watch you if you're handing this stuff out.
That's the truth. Olivia Rodrigo knows, and Olivia Rodrigo's team knows, that her fans are kids. Mm-hmm. They know that parents are the ones spending money on tickets and on merch and all the rest of it. So who they have to please is the parents. Not the kids, not social media stands. The kids aren't the ones spending money. So you need to appeal to the actual consumer base. And if they have a problem with the fact that you're distributing lube to their little children at the concert, you're going to have to back down and stop.
So this is what I'm imagining. Like you're like, oh, it's my dream job. I got hired to work for Olivia Rodrigo and everybody gets hazed. Sorry, you're on lube duty. It's your job to hand out lube to all the kids.
Okay, I want to be clear though. The Plan B and the condoms and the lube, they were getting distributed by the booths that are run by the National Network of Abortion Funds. It was not affiliated with Olivia Rodrigo directly, but they were allowed to operate inside the arenas, and now they're not allowed to do that. But what they're threatening to do now is stand outside the arenas on the sidewalk and put up booths on the sidewalk giving Plan B, lube, and condoms to children. So that's their Plan C, I guess, is to just go on public streets and do this, which is even more insane that they're doubling down when the parents have voiced their concerns.
Is she the first artist to do something like this? Somehow I don't imagine that this is a first.
No, she's probably not the first artist to do this. However, she would be the first artist that has a predominantly child fan base to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think most people are mad at. But their stated reason here is because there are children present at the concerts. And all of these people on Stan Twitter are so mad at the fact that they phrased it this way. They said, just because children are present at the tour doesn't mean she shouldn't promote abortion and contraceptives. It's not like she's giving them to kids. She literally was giving them to kids, though. Like,
what are they saying? What are they saying then? They're saying it's not like she's giving them to kids. Who is she giving them to? The magical non-kid that is there? The parent?
the parents? I don't know. But she definitely 100% was distributing Plan B pills, condoms, and lubricant to teenagers and possibly kids younger than that.
Okay.
So that is just 100% false. Like, you're literally denying reality. Another one said, Olivia was doing a great thing. Let's stop pretending that teenagers don't have sex. Between all the anti-abortion legislation and conservatives attacking sex ed, they're setting young girls up to be 15-year-old mothers. Despicable. And there they are, just blatantly falling for Planned Parenthood propaganda, because Planned Parenthood also distributes contraceptives. But I'm just so confused, because if contraceptives actually worked and were reliably preventing pregnancies for those who are not ready to be mothers, then how exactly would Planned Parenthood still make a profit off of all of the abortion procedures that they offer?
Just think.
Doesn't quite make sense to me.
Just think, someday some mother is going to be telling her daughter, you were conceived at an Olivia Rodrigo concert. And it could have been stopped, too, because they stopped giving out the abortion pills.
I always hated you.
I didn't really want you, but they ran out of the pills that night. They said I couldn't. They wouldn't hand me any. And your father, he wouldn't take no for an answer.
This is just such deceptive and predatory language. And they're interviewing people who work for these networks of abortion funds. One said, the reality is that youth have sex and youth need access to birth control and emergency contraception. What we're doing is completely legal in all 50 states. Not under Mary's dictatorship, it won't be. And then another one said, there is something really positive about a 16 or 15-year-old having a Plan B and a few condoms in her dresser to use as she needs it. Sex and sexual health tools, whether that be abortion, Plan B, condoms, they're villainized because you're seen as being promiscuous. We don't look at it as a sign of responsibility. If the kids aren't getting education that they need in school, at least they can rely on reproductive health organizations in their communities to get that information and resources to them. So we're just going to take the place of the parents in the household, and we're going to educate your children about sex and try our darndest to make sure they are sexually active before you have told them that is permissible in your household. Well, it's so predatory.
It is a pretty well-known fact now that especially leftists, they really do believe that whether it's at the schools, things like this, that you don't have a right to your own children, and that the state, and those who are statists are the ones who know what's best for you and your kids, right?
Yeah. And
this is just a really, really disturbing. I don't know how else to say it. As somebody who just would never listen to her music and has no interest in the music, seeing stuff like this, I wonder what it would have looked like in the 80s. I guess these things probably existed in some fashion, but it just somehow feels even more insidious now, given that they really do want to raise your kids.
I mean, it adds insult to injury that Olivia Rodrigo's music isn't even good.
That's the real part.
You're going to be a propagandist Disney industry plant, and your music isn't even going to be good? I guess she's just like making it easier for people to boycott her, because I didn't even need to stop streaming her music. I just need to continue living my life as usual, where I don't listen to her at all.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.